huge upset in this very first quarterfinal, day 2. Well, the final in Noida 2025. By this round has to go as much as possible to the Uzbek boxer. The second round also going the way of Wu Shi from Taipei. All 5 judges giving this one to her as well. So despite all the aggressive intent which has come in from Sitora, has definitely been a lot more profitable for Wu Shi from Taipei. Sitora is also the bronze medalist from the Asian Games in Hangzhou. With that kind of pedigree, you would expect her to come all the way firing, but currently the first 2 rounds have both been won by unanimous verdicts by Wu Shi from Taipei. All to do in many respects for the boxer from Uzbekistan, who has some of her teammates for support on the sidelines. He's definitely made a good, brave start, looking to be as aggressive as possible early on. Landed a couple of decent punches, especially with that right hook. Certainly made a few contacts early on in this third and final round. Using a reach to good effect. Wu Shi also has a slender but lanky frame which helps her. It's been a fascinating battle in terms of tactics between the two boxers. But Sitora Turdibekova knows that she needs to go for broke, having lost the first 2 rounds. Another decent combination. In an ideal world, she would want to knock her opponent out and look to finish this before it goes all the way to the end of the 3rd round, because in that case, there's a good chance that Wu might end up winning this particular bout. This is, of course, the first of the bouts on the 2nd day of action at the World Boxing Cup Finals. Very first session. The winner of this match will face Ah-hyun Park of South Korea in the semi-finals. With the South Korean boxer getting a bye, as have the other 2 boxers, including India's Jasmine in this weight category, the women's 57 kg. A little bit of tiredness visible. That's why Wu Shi putting on more of a defensive performance here. Just looking to keep Sitora at bay. Oh, she's landed with a couple of decent punches. That might well be enough. Just a question probably of running the clock down from here. It'll be quite a result if it goes the way of the Taipei boxer. Pretty much the underdog coming into it, with 2 excellent rounds of good defensive boxing have landed her in a position where she can afford now to run the clock down. Has she done enough? The boxer in blue seems quite confident. She did win the first couple of rounds. Sitora Turdibekova came out all guns blazing. But those first 2 rounds lost put her in a little bit of a dilemma about how to approach this 3rd decisive round. And it's coming down pretty much to the hour of reckoning as Wu Shi makes her way across to the center as well.
The winner on points by unanimous decision in the blue corner representing Chinese Stripey.
It is Wu Shi. It's been a good performance from her. And it's a unanimous verdict as well. She was good all the way through. 30-26 in that final round. Because the judge from India scored that as an 8 in that last round for Sitora and gave a 10. So decisive in each and every round with all 5 judges going in favor of Wu Shi from Taipei, who proceeds through with a unanimous verdict. So she goes through for a meeting with Ah Hyun Park and also assures Taipei of a medal, at the very least a bronze, but she'll definitely want to convert that into something a lot more decisive for her team. It's a good packed days of action, couple of sessions. One which has just begun now in the afternoon and another to follow at 6 p.m. in the evening, local time. And plenty of good boxers who will be
Bout number 13,
out in the middle.
elite man 55 weight category. In the red corner, representing Uzbekistan, Ulimon Samandar.
And so now we move along to the men's 55 kgs. Samandar Olimov of Uzbekistan, and up against him it will be Shin Jae-yong of Korea. Power pack matchup. The winner of this bout goes through to face Rui Yamaguchi, the man who picked up the silver at the Astana World Cup earlier this year.
Sing Jae-yong.
And now on to his opponent. This is expected to be a good bout as well. Olimov, someone that is known for his defensive technique, and that's where you would expect somebody in a lighter weight category, somebody of the likes of Shin Jae-yong, to really take the fight to him. It'll be a good contrast of styles, but it will be speedy. There'll be a lot of technique, a lot of finesse.
J1, Morocco, J2,
Looking
India,
forward to how
J3,
this should turn out.
Turkey, J4, Egypt, J5,
Samandar Olimov.
Serbia.
Has been active since 2022, the man from Tashkent. And up against him, the Korean boxer Shin Jae-yong. Smattering of support for both teams. In fact, the Uzbeks, the entire team has come out in good numbers in the audience, and there's also a few Korean teammates of Shin. As you can already see some good tempo about this bout in the early 15 seconds itself. Both of them looking to take the attack to the opposition. Samandar ducking, weaving, also keeping his guard down, trying to invite Jae-yong onto him. A good proactive start from both boxers, landing a few decent punches. But Jae-yong seems to be doing quite well in these early exchanges, is to keep himself as mobile as possible. But that will also take a toll the longer this bout goes. This is just the first of 3 rounds. It will also leave him every now and then susceptible to a few of those headshots which we've already seen from Samandar. Uzbekistan, of course, have been a force to reckon with in this weight category. Mirzaz's Bek, Murza Khalilov winning silver in the World Cup, which was played in Brazil March and April. A couple of months on from that. There was indeed a gold for a boxer from Kazakhstan, Mahmoud Sabir Khan. Truth be told, this has been a close first round. Won't be surprised if it's a split verdict for the first one. A good couple of punches thrown in by Jae-yong. An even contest in the first round. Not much to separate the two boxers. It will be quite interesting to see how the judges have seen this, because it seemed like it was as even as it got. Maybe, just maybe shaded by the boxer in blue, but it's actually gone the way of Rahimov Samandar. The 5 judges giving this in favor of him, 10-9, unanimously. A couple of occasions when Jae-yong just left himself a little susceptible to those counter punches. Also just clinging on to his opponent on a few occasions. Confirmation then of how it's been scored. 10-9 by all 5 judges. So a little bit of work here to do for Samandar Rahimov. It's technically may not seem like a lot of time, but it can feel like an eternity, especially when you're trailing in a bout, because you know that you're running out of time. You know that every mistake can be that much more expensive on your part. Samandar somehow has to find the right balance between attack and also defending himself from time to time, with that 5-0 lead in his favor. These, of course, the World Boxing Cup finals. Virtually all the entries here have been entered on the basis of performances through the World Cups around the year. A couple of those stages which were played out in Brazil as well as Kazakhstan earlier in the year, and also one in Poland. Most of those rankings have come into play. I can say it is the best of the best, which is why it is such a deep field, and that's why each and every bout is going to be quite crucial, quite close as well. Jae-yong swinging ferociously a couple of times, but didn't make too much of a contact. Clever work from Samandar, keeping his guard down a lot of the time. And every time he finds his opponent in blue at an arm's length, he just lashes out with that good reach of his. Try and register a few points for himself. A lot of blows to the midriff. But more than that, the official also just warning him about getting too close and getting his head right up into the torso of his opponent. This has been good game management. Rahimov has made sure that he's probably been able to widen that gap between himself and Shin Jae-yong in the second round. And he bounces confidently back to his corner, knowing that this round 2 may well have gone in his favor. A few decent connections made, especially early on, which rattled up Jae-yong. A few occasions where the two boxers did get a little intertwined. Tends to happen though. But with the scores likely to go the way of the Uzbek boxer, it will now perhaps leave everything to do for Shin Jae-yong. Maybe looking to now push for a knockout.
Seconds out. Third final count.
Samandar now in a pretty comfortable position in this bout. Uzbekistan, the Central Asian Republic, former part of Soviet Union, with a rich history of combat sports, boxing in particular. The Uzbek boxers have been so good across both women's and men's categories in recent years. Especially dominant in Asian circles, and this is an all-Asian bout in any case. We have seen all the good factors which come into Uzbek boxing in this bout from Samandar. Plenty of guile, plenty of deception, good reach, good power as well. And good speed, the way that he's chasing Jae-yong, not allowing him to settle into a defensive rut here. And Jae-yong needs to counter punch. He needs to chase this bout all the way. He wants to overturn the deficit which is facing him. Shin Jae-yong really does need to come up with something special here. Quick set of running repairs. Samandar has taken this into the last minute, knowing that he has dominated this and still keeping his opponent at a decent arm's length. Of course, the stakes will get bigger in the semi-final when he comes up against the fine Japanese opponent Rui Yamaguchi, but he looks headed that way, and he's throwing in a few decisive punches to finish off this bout as well. And that should do it. He looks confident enough as he finishes off. The Korean Shin knows that this probably hasn't panned out his way. Excellent tactics and mixture of strategies by Samandar Olimov. Even in these brief highlights that we see of that third round, there's so much more of Olimov making contact, which is always a good sign, especially for a boxer who did win the first 2 rounds as well.
Result of the bout number 30. The winner declared by unanimous point decision in the red corner, representing Uzbekistan.
So it's a split decision, but it does go in favor of Samandar Olimov from Uzbekistan. And he somewhat makes up for the disappointment that we saw in the first bout of today, where Sitora, his compatriot in the women's 57 kg category, lost out. A much better third round from the perspective of the Korean boxer, but just not good enough on the day. Samandar Olimov capturing a semi-final place for himself, and also another assured medal now for Uzbekistan. Scores big round of that match, where Olimov Samandar was quite comfortable in his victory against Shin Jae-yong. Now continuing with men's 55 kgs, it's Yelmir Nabiev from Ukraine. Born in Azerbaijan, has been boxing since 2019.
In the blue corner, representing England, Trowbridge Ellis.
And we have Dudley Ellis at the other end. The man from England. Another country with so much of pedigree in this sport. For all practical purposes, some of the best early Olympian boxers did come from Great Britain. And the British Isles in particular have been so profitable. But this is Yelmir Nabiev.
From Australia, Judge 2 from Chinese Taipei, Judge 3.
Dudley Ellis, his opponent. This is the bout. It's another quarterfinal. Yelmir Nabiev against Dudley Ellis of England. It's all European bout after an all Asian bout in the 55 kg category. Yet to come, India's boxer Bwal. Which will be the next bout here at the Shaheed Vijay Singh Pathak Sports Complex, Greater Noida. And the two of them, Ellis, just a slight height advantage, and it will be quite interesting to observe how he utilizes that in his favor. Yeah, Ellis looking to utilize that reach of his, just staying as far away from Yelmir as possible. Trowbridge, Ellis. Been an interesting first minute. English boxer in blue keeps weaving away, keeps himself at a distance from the Ukrainian opponent in red. But Yelmir showing that he's got some good tactics of his own. Good solid defense, which is enabling him to avert most of the attacks from his opponent, and then looking to hit him on the counter. What he probably lacks in terms of just a little bit of relative height, I suspect somebody like a Yelmir makes it up with power in his punches. If he gets an opening, then watch out for that sharp jab or an uppercut from time to time. Ellis has thrown in a few good punches of his own. But of course, in the 55 kg category, not long after, we'll move along to 75, and then we have 4 terrific men's 90 kg bouts as well. Coming up to the last 20 seconds or so of this opening round. He's been a bit more proactive, Trowbridge. This will be an interesting one as well, how the judges view what has happened across these first 3 minutes. The English boxer, understandably, a little bit more confident. He really did use his height to good advantage. Stayed far away from the punching zone of his opponent. Yelmir Nabiev. And every now and then counter-punched well. Yes, and it is a split verdict thus far. It's 3-2 in favor of Trowbridge Ellis. The 2 of the judges giving this in favor of Nabiev, and 3 of them have actually gone in with Ellis from England. So it's a 3-2 at the moment, and this has the makings of a much closer contest than the first 2 bouts of the day.
Seconds out. Round 2.
Seems like Yelmir realizes he needs to be a bit more proactive in the second round. But notice how Trowbridge is doing so well with that right hand of his to keep his opponent away. Ukrainian boxer Yelmir has done a lot of chasing already in this bout. Not even halfway through the middle round, which is why this has been an impressive tactical masterclass of sorts from Trowbridge Ellis. And every now and then he makes sure that he connects with some of those shots of his. Just keeping himself mobile on the scorecard for the judges. Going into the last minute, yet again it's a very close second round. Trowbridge moves in, fakes a few times, gets a few punches in, but Jelmer is also throwing a few good solid blows of his own. Can one of them land a knockout punch here? High quality contest at the World Boxing Cup Finals here in Greater Noida 2025, day 2 of competition. 5 days in all. All the finals and the medal bouts on Thursday, the 20th of November. Will be very interesting to see how this has been scored. Yet again, Trowbridge Ellis seems the more confident of the two. Started well, moved his opponent around quite a bit. But Jelmer was also successful in landing a few blows, none of them decisive enough, but a few which did shake up his opponent in blue. However, the second round has decisively gone the way of Trowbridge Ellis rather. All 5 judges giving this in his favor. So Ellis definitely with an advantage here. 3 of the judges have given it in his favor and 2 of them now have switched to equal. So it's a 3-0 verdict at the moment in favor of Trowbridge Ellis. Jelmer Nabiev, the Azerbaijan-born Ukrainian boxer, has to take the attack to his opponent here. That's always very difficult to do in the third round unless you have bundles of energy or something up your sleeve which you haven't used as yet in this bout.
Let him in. Show him the jab and backhand hook.
The winner of this quarterfinal will not just go through to the semi-finals but also set up a potential semi-final against one of Pawan Barthwal or Nursultan Alinbeck, second seed in this 55 kg drop.
The uppercut's there now when you want it. Don't show him it. Show him the jab first.
Kazakh boxer who has great pedigree. But for the moment it's between Ukraine and England. England narrowly ahead.
Keep him there. Don't start with the basic. Good, lovely. Touch him.
What he continues to do right from the first round is maintain a modicum of distance between himself and Jelmer, which is why it has been a good energetic bout from Ellis, the way that he has used his body, used his feet, pretty much set up a heat map all across the ring. Continues to move, continues to weave. A little over a minute left. Want to make the mistake of getting too passive, needs to land the odd blow from now and then. I think he has done enough here. Last minute just wants to avoid getting a knockout blow to his head. It's also been quite sapping for Yelmir to keep chasing his opponent all around. Just the last 30 seconds. Doesn't need to do anything extraordinary here, Trowbridge. Just continue with the same tactic. Make sure that Yelmir tires himself out by chasing him all over the ring. And it would seem that he has seen this through. I think he knows. I think his opponent knows as well. Dudley, Trowbridge, Ellis with a good defensive performance, appreciated by the Ukrainian coach as well. And this was a story pretty much right through this bout, the way that he kept moving himself around, landing the odd blow, the odd little jab, the odd little cut. But most of all, just making sure that he kept Ukrainian at an arm's length. Time for the verdict.
The winner on point by split decision in the blue corner, representing Ukraine, Nabiev.
Well, it's Trowbridge Ellis who wins. The announcer just getting the nationality or the name wrong there. But this has been a good performance, very good performance from Trowbridge Ellis. And he's enjoying his moment out in the sun.
जी को सम्मानित करें श्री प्रमोद कुमार जी सेक्रेटरी जनरल बॉक्सिंग फेडरेशन ऑफ इंडिया आप सम्मानित करेंगे हमारे
Yelmir and Trowbridge, this is how it panned out. Decisively going Yelmir's way in that third round, so it was a lot closer than one thinks, or rather going in favor of Trowbridge actually, and that's why he had the judges in his favor all the way through, 150 points to 132. Split points only in the first round, where it wasn't unanimous as it seems on those pictures. But it's definitely a good win for Trowbridge Ellis. This is what's happening next. 55 kg, the last of the quarterfinals, and it features India's Pawan Barthwal, and he's up against the mighty Nur Sultan Alinbeck from Kazakhstan.
The winner on points by split decision in the blue corner, representing England, Trowbridge Ellis.
Well, that correction has been made. The right name has been announced as the winner of the previous bout.
Representing India, Bwal Pawan.
Pawan Barthwal, the army man from Shivpuri, Uttarakhand, and somebody who's done well of late, has really been rising in the ranks in Indian boxing, and will be looking to make a statement here. Bring that discipline into his craft. Was just hopping into the wrong corner, but that's probably also an explanation of how excited he is to fight right here in front of his home crowd in Greater Noida, India.
Alinbeck Nur Sultan.
This is a mighty challenge though. This man is all class. Nursultan Altinbek picked up the World Cup gold in Brazil in stage 1 this year. And en route, he did beat Manish Rathore from India in the semi-finals.
Via Viensik Alexander, just 1, Mongolia, just 2, Guatemala, just 3,
Pawan Bartwal
just 4, Ireland, just 5, Uganda.
will be definitely looking to make a statement on home conditions, but he's got a big challenge ahead of him. The second seed as per the draw. Rui Yamaguchi of Japan, of course, accorded the first seed. Nursultan is really experienced. He's got some good pedigree behind him. How the seeds work out? The draw is always made in such a way that the top seed is given top billing and the second seed comes in from the bottom half of the draw. So the only place where they can eventually meet is the final. But that's where the challenge is up to the other contenders, the likes of Pawan Bartwal, who can upset those calculations and get themselves into medal contention ahead of those top 2 seeds. Pawan, probably his biggest bout yet, and definitely looking eager to make an impression
Round 1.
here in Greater Noida. Coming in with aggressive intentions, Pawan. Nursultan seems to have just adapted a little bit. Using that left jab of his. Just make sure that Pawan is kept at an honest distance away from him. Plenty of movement from both boxers, so they will have to keep an eye out on the energy reserves as this bout goes on. But I like this from Pawan. He's looking to take the fight to his fancied opponent. Nursultan is swift. He's got some great punches of his own, which is why the best form of defense against such an opponent is attack. And that's what Pawan seems to be showing. Of course, what matters is how the judges see it. Mattering of home support for the Indian boxer. Just looking to rally behind man from the Indian Army. Been a good fight actually from Pawan, and will be very interesting to see how this one is seen by the judges. At this point, I would suggest that he's probably got a slender lead ahead of Nursultan. A wry smile from the Kazakh, possibly acknowledging that he has been caught a little unawares. Yet another good punch landed right on the nose. Really throwing those punches well, Pawan. Also defending quite astutely every time. There's an attempt at a counter from Nursultan. Last 30 seconds of a first round, which I dare say has probably been shaded by the man in red. He has Nursultan on the ropes a couple of times. This has been a very good positive exhibition of boxing from Pawan Bartwal, and then some good sporting spirit from the two. Little punch of gloves to acknowledge what has been an entertaining first round with both boxers landing a few. Nursultan probably making a slightly brighter start, but as that round wore on, Pawan Bartwal growing in confidence. and getting some good punches and also landing his opponent on the ropes a couple of times. It's been reflected in the scores as well. It's 4-1. Only one of the judges has seen it as a victory for Nursultan Alinbeck. The other four giving this in favor of Pawan Bwal.
Second out.
Just the perfect start. Maybe perfect would have been 5-0, but 4-1 still puts him in a pretty good advantageous position. If he can win the second round as well, or at least win over 4 of the judges, that will put him in pole position to clinch a semi-final spot. Don't count out Nursultan, he will come all guns blazing. Pawan once again looking to push his opponent into a corner. Just the way that he raises the tempo in the middle of these rounds, that's been fascinating to see. It points to peak physical as well as mental conditioning for this Indian boxer. So much more than just a show of strength. It's also so much of canniness, so much of strategy, so much of intelligence, this whole sport. So far, Pawan has displayed all of those attributes against a high-quality opponent in Nursultan Alinbeck of Kazakhstan. Now an attempt at a counter punch from Nursultan, trying to get some punches in. But Pawan's defense has been good as well. Now looking for the counter himself, lands a couple of blows. With just over a minute to go, it would seem that he's beginning to shade this round as well. Great exhibition of boxing from Pawan Bwal. And then Nursultan does land one left hook. What's also been quite pleasing is to see the kind of balance that Pawan Bwal has. Using his feet to good effect. Keeps trying to box Nursultan into a corner and then takes advantage of his good reach. Lanky frame. Last 15 seconds. He's definitely done well. He has opened up a few wounds seemingly for Nursultan. Close to his lips. He's looking quite confident yet again that he might well have inched this round in his favor too. Pawan Bwal swiftly changing from defense to offense and doing it so many times in this bout already. And indeed, some cheers from the crowds because they have just realized and they've just been informed that the second round too has gone Pawan Bwal's way. 4-1 this time around. He's very much in control. 3 of the judges have gone in his favor. 2 of those judges have made a bit of a flip across the first 2 rounds. But he is still the player in pole position. Now he must realize that the job isn't complete yet.
Final round.
3 minutes yet to come. Nursultan will go for broke. Man who picked up the championship in Foz do Iguaçu in Brazil. During the first stage of the World Cup this year. He's got that pedigree, got several continental and global plaudits as well, but he's really being taken apart in this third round as well. What a great start from Pawan. Absolutely come out all guns blazing. Nur Sultan not sure about exactly what kind of strategy can help him come back into this contest. Been relentless from Pawan Bartwal. Speed of some of his punches have taken Nur Sultan Alinbeck by surprise. Keeps his defense up, just drops his gloves and then lands a quick 1-2 on his opponent. A warning given to Nur Sultan, a sign that the second seed is rattled a bit by the performance from the Indian boxer. Remember, victory assures Pawan of a medal. The very least that he'll win is a bronze, but he'll want to go better. Minute left in this third round. Nur Sultan throwing everything he can at his opponent. Pawan must make sure that his defense is turned in these last few seconds. Got a little bit of an injury over his eye. Bout. Will it be stopped ahead of time? No, it isn't. Continues. Into the last 30 seconds now. The clock was stopped for that little medical timeout. Pawan Bartwal is making a massive statement here at the Shaheed Vijay Singh Pathak Sports Complex in Greater Noida. He's taken the fight to the second seed, and it does look like he's got the job done. It's yet another medal assured for the home side. Seems like a mere formality before we know the verdict. But even in that third round, keeping the attack going against Alinbeck, and the second-seeded Kazakh boxer was taken by surprise by the speed and the ferocity of the attack from his Indian opponent today. 26 years of age, Pawan Bartwal, before long, might well be celebrating.
Point by unanimous point decision in the red corner.
It's a unanimous verdict for Pawan Bartwal. Fantastic, fantastic boxing and great show of sporting spirit between the two boxers. Nur Sultan Alinbeck acknowledging that he's been outclassed by a worthy opponent on the day. So Pawan sets up a semi-final against Dudley Trowbridge Ellis of England. And at the very least, he will go home with a bronze, but he'll want to turn that into a significantly better color, both for himself and for his country. So this will be the next bout. We are now moving on to the 75 kg men's categories. And we are going to see first bout between Aman Konpekov of Kazakhstan, and his opponent will be Davokhir Abdul Rahimov of Uzbekistan. So this will be a technically proficient bout as well. Bit of huddle of movement which you see right down to the left bottom corner. Some VIPs and special guests who've come to attend today's session, and also of course the mixed zone right there at the bottom of your screen, where some of the journalists will now want to catch up with Pawan and ask him about his bout and how it went.
Kazakhstan.
Now we move on.
Konpekov Aman.
Aman Konpekov. This is actually an all-Uzbek clash because he was Uzbek born, but now lives and works out of Almaty in Kazakhstan.
Representing Uzbekistan, Abdul Jabar.
Tohirov, Abdul Rahimov taking things into a slightly heavier weight category. 20 kg difference now between what we saw just a little while ago. So the punches will be more solid. The structure of these boxes will be a little bit firmer, a little bit stronger, a little taller as well. And you would expect some proper solid punches to be exchanged between
Judge
these two
number 1
boxers.
from India, judge number 2 from Bulgaria, judge number 3 from France, judge number 4 from Australia, judge number 5 from Canada.
Would expect this one to be a purest delight. Central Asian boxers coming face to face. The winner of this will face Pavlo Ilivoya from Ukraine, who's got a bye already. He's the top seed in this particular weight category. A little bit of a difference in build between these two boxers as well. The boxer in red from Kazakhstan, perhaps a bit stockier. Man from Uzbekistan, Jabar, just a little bit lanky. A frenetic start from Konpekov. Come out punching right from his corner. But Jabar has to use that reach of his to good effect. He's got the taller or the better reach. Konpekov seems more conscious of trying to cling as close to his opponent as possible, sometimes a bit too much for the officials' liking. Already been a lot of attacking in this bout. Good aggressive intent being shown. Konpekov has to be a little bit careful here. Just seeming a little over eager to take the fight to Jabar. Has to mix a bit of caution and aggression. There's just been perhaps too much of aggression being shown by the man in red. Might earn the officials' ire, and more than anything else, it might also tire him out well before these 3 rounds get over. Leaves Jabar Abdul Rahimov with the easy task of just defending solidly for the first couple of rounds and maybe then going for broke in the 3rd and final round. could also possibly be heading for a split decision, the way that these first 2.5 minutes of this round have gone. Not too many clean punches landed by either boxer. Been a lot of occasions when the two have just found themselves in a little bit of an embrace in trying to gain the initiative. There's the latest one of those. Konpekov might soon get an official warning as well. Yeah, the end of the first round. Not much to report really. Konpekov came out all guns blazing, trying to be as aggressive as possible against Abdul Rahimov. And a few decent punches, but a lot more of that round was spent by the two men. Just sort of hugging each other. Not intentional, of course. No love lost inside the ring, at least between those bell sounds. And not surprisingly, the first round has been given in favor of Jabar Abdul Rahimov. 5-0. So all 5 judges going with the man in blue. Konpekov has been trying to chase the bout. Has ended up just making a few too many mistakes in the process, leaving himself open for a few counter punches.
Round 2.
Two mighty Asian nations with good history in the sport, Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, both part of the erstwhile Soviet Union. Of course, was a massive team in terms of combat sports in general, boxing in particular as well. Some epic bouts at the Olympics involving not just boxers from the erstwhile USSR, but also some of the famous American names. The one which comes to mind, Cassius Clay, Rome 1960. Later rechristened as the great, one of the greatest of all time, I suppose, Muhammad Ali. That used to be, much like in many other sports, one of the main rivalries to look forward to. But this also is a good emerging one in terms of modern boxing. Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan getting a little bit untidy in the second round. Even Jabar has to be a little bit careful. Suspected that this might be a very technical and tactical bout, but it's been a bit more brawn. Yet again, the official having to step in and just warn Konpekov of leaning into his opponent's body a bit too much. Also draining the two of them out. All of this jumping and chasing each other all over the ring. Still about a minute left and another round to go. Have to conserve their energy. It also leaves them susceptible to a good solid punch coming in and knocking the stuffing out of the other. That's not the one there. That's why a little smile on the face of Konpekov. Day 2 of action, afternoon session here at the World Boxing Cup Finals in Greater Noida 2025. Just getting a little bit too passive at times, the two. Not sure how the judges will have seen this, but Konpekov really hasn't made too many inroads as compared to the first round. So this one might also go the way of the man from Uzbekistan, Abdul Rahimov. The two of them just trying to up the tempo a little bit compared to what happened in the first round. But yet again, we saw lots of occasions when they just got their bodies a little intertwined. Some shots which came, which really wouldn't have counted in any case. It's been scored in favor of Abdul Rahimov yet again, but a couple of judges have lent the way of Konpekov as well. Just coming back a little bit into it as a contest.
Seconds up.
Everything to play for in this final round.
And final round.
Konpekov has been given an outside chance by the score of coming back and possibly clinching this as well. Has to use it wisely. Factor we were discussing in the first round. The tiredness now creeping in. Both men looking a little worse for the wear. Konpekov looking to be as positive as he's been right from the start of this bout. But Abdul Rahimov also is struggling to keep pace now. The timing is right. If one of them can launch something special out of their drawer, could have a technical knockout in this third round. Blow to the back of the head, with the warning going Konpekov's way initially. Is Javar Abdul Rahimov just doing enough here to stave off a spirited challenge from the Kazakh boxer? Been a bit untidy at times, but it's been effective from Abdul Rahimov. Visible tiredness across both boxers. Konpekov probably just looking for that one shot which can bring him that victory, and in that process over trying, leaving himself susceptible to a few of those counter punches, also getting a warning just a while ago from the official. Yeah, into the last 10 seconds or so, Uzbek contingent cheering on for Abdul Rahimov. They know that he's close. They know he doesn't need to do too much here. And it will probably be a victory for the man in blue. Understandably jubilant. Yet again, a slightly untidy third round where Kazakhstan's Aman Konpekov tried to come all the way back. But Javar Abdul Rahimov did exceedingly well to make sure that he kept his cool, he kept his tempo going. Did have to face a few punches, but in spite of them, landed a few good ones of his own. But Konpekov is also quite confident. This could be a close one from the look of things.
The winner won points by split decision. In the blue corner, representing Uzbekistan,
It is Jawakir, Abdul Rahimov. Turns out to be a very close one. As we expected that this would be a tough bout between the two Central Asian nations. And Aman Konpekov also should be given credit for really fighting well all the way through. But it is Jawakir, Abdul Rahimov. This is what happened right through this bout. Konpekov the more aggressive of the two, starting out all guns blazing. But Abdul Rahimov doing very well with his defense right from the start. Used his reach quite effectively, and that's been a common feature when we've seen somebody who's a little taller right through this boxing session. Wasn't a lot in it, especially that second round was quite evenly contested, with even the judges splitting the points in favor of the two of them. 3 of those are going with Abdul Rahimov and 2 of them in favor of Konpekov. But in the end, the man in blue just about doing enough to thwart his opponent, and then some good friendly spirit as well.
Representing Republic of Korea, Kim Hyun-tae.
Kim Hyun-tae of Korea up against Sumit from India. First representing or first introducing Kim Hyun-tae. Somebody who earlier this year did face an Indian opponent in the Thailand Open quarterfinals, where he lost to Deepak Kumar. So Sumit will take a lot of confidence from that fact.
In the blue corner, representing India, Sumit.
There's already been a positive result for an Indian boxer today, with Bwal knocking out, or rather inching ahead of Nursultan Alinbeck of Kazakhstan. Now it's Sumit who's up against Kim Hyun-tae from South Korea. The winner of this goes through against the second seed.
Against Z4, Jabar, Bulgaria,
From Poland.
Just 2, Uzbekistan,
Vishal Gyarde.
Just 3, Zit, Just 4, Czechia, Just 5, Mexico.
It's definitely not going to be easy, neither this bout nor the next one, but for the moment this is all that they'll be focusing on. They are already assured of 5 medals, with 4 boxers on the opening day making their way through to the semi-finals. There's a few more, of course, a couple of categories, especially in the women's section, where the Indian boxers find themselves in the semi-finals right from the start. Those semi-finals and those medal bouts, all of them to come in the oncoming few days. Action concludes on Thursday. So if you're in and around Greater Noida, do come and watch these matches.
Round 1.
Quite a lively atmosphere. Sumit in blue up against Hyun-tae. Seems to have taken a little bit of a leaf out of Bwal's book, trying to be a little more proactive in the early exchanges. Sumit. Early warning for the Indian boxer. Frenzied bit of action, where he did push Kim Hyun-tae onto the ropes at one stage as well. With those explosive bursts of energy, catching his opponent by surprise completely. Two men of similar build, similar strengths, good reach. Time a bit of a warning for the Korean in red. Yet again, Kim Hyun-tae with a little bit of a smile on his face, because he was forced onto the ropes by an onslaught from Sumit. Yet again, Sumit on the offensive. Good combination of punches. Perhaps a little over-eager with some of those, but good intent shown thus far in these first 2 minutes by the Indian boxer. Over 30 seconds left in this first round. 3 rounds of 3 minutes apiece, with a minute of a break between those. That little bit of time for the boxers to catch their breath back, get some inputs from their coaching staff. Very positive stuff from Sumit so far. Won't be surprised if the judges do call this in his favor. First round. More than anything else, it was those sudden bursts of acceleration from Sumit in blue, representing India in front of his home crowd. And this encapsulates that perfectly. Just getting into his opponent's face and smacking him 4 or 5 consecutive times with some good punches. Yes, the judges have given this in favor. The first round, all 5 judges going 10-9 in favor of Sumit. A little bit of a little hill to climb, if not a mountain, for Kim Hyun-tae. Reminder that all the boxers here at the World Boxing Cup Finals have had an outstanding 2025 already, which is why they have qualified on the basis of those ranking points through the World Cups into this season finale, as it were. Kim Hyun-tae looking to be a lot more proactive in the second round. Has started well, has started with a busy first 20 odd seconds. Sumit's energy has been quite remarkable. He's moved quickly, he's moved swiftly, and he's using defense as a very good mechanism in the second round thus far. Keeps his guard up most of the time, but then moves in decisively when he does choose to let it down. Word of caution to Kim Hyun-tae. This has been a good comeback into this round as well by Sumit. Hyun-tae started with a lot more positive punching of his own, but Sumit kept his defenses up, he's kept himself mobile, and now he's capitalizing on a slightly tiring opponent. I would think he has done enough in this round as well, Sumit. Keep himself ahead in terms of overall points scored. needs to keep his defenses as strong as possible into the last 20 seconds now. Finishing on a high. India's Sumit looks quite confident going into the second round, the finish of it rather. This was indeed quite an intriguing one because it started well from Hyun-tae, but Sumit grew in confidence, defended well early on, and then converted into attack quite decisively. And you'll probably be able to hear some cheers in the background because the scores have been flashed. It's yet another round which has been decisively won by Sumit. In fact, 4 of the 5 judges giving it 10-8 to Sumit. So he's got a numerical superiority and also some margin for error now. Outstanding. Very good work from Sumit of India.
Third and final round.
Now, Kim Hyun-tae has to do something quite extraordinary, has to pull out some big blows. And Sumit looks like he's determined to keep going with that aggressive mindset of his. He started so well here in this third round as well. Now what's the way back for the man in red? How does Hyun-tae slow Sumit down to begin with, defend better, and then land some punches of his own in order to score them? Positive start by Sumit. He can keep his defense solid, then it would seem that India will have earned yet another pure medal at these Boxing World Cup finals. But he's going for broke, he's going for some big shots. Wants to make this a statement win for himself, Sumit. Dominant display so far in the 2 rounds and half a round in the third one. And that's why that wry smile from Hyun-tae. He knows that he's not had too many answers today against the man in blue. Deftness of those punches and how quickly he recovers from that and goes into a defensive position has really been a pleasure to watch. The boxer performing with confidence, with a lot of self-assurance, and he has absolutely taken apart his opponent from a tactical perspective, the way that he has attacked and defended against Kim Hyun-tae. The last 30-odd seconds now to watch out and to see out. Hyun-tae with a late offensive. One would think only a knockout here can save him. And he's going for that. Going for broke, as it were. But Sumit's holding firm into the last 5 seconds. And he should have done enough here. Congratulations, evident on the Indian side. Was what happened in the third round. A lot better from Kim Hyun-tae, looking to be a lot more positive. But Sumit started this so positively that he always had the option of then closing himself out and defending through the rest of the round, and that's pretty much a summation of what he did to make sure that he was never troubled too much by his opponent. should have confirmation of it soon, but from the body language of the two boxers, they do know that this is the most likely result here.
Result of the bout number 17. The winner on point by unanimous point decision in the blue corner, representing India, Sumit.
Sumit wins this unanimously, and it always seemed on the cards. Not just the way that he started, but also the way that he kept going through that. And now India have yet another assured medal. Positive. That was the name of the game from Sumit. Just didn't allow Kim Hyun-tae to get into any kind of rhythm. And Hyun-tae tried to come back hard into the third and final round, but just ended up being outclassed by a superior opponent today. Sumit was quite outstanding. Sumit goes through to the semi-finals where he'll meet Bwal Jalinski of Poland. It's going to be a difficult bout as well for him. Now we are moving on further, heavier boxers in the men's category. Adam Tutak from Poland, and he'll be up against Amar Riyad Abdul Jabar from Germany.
Representing Poland, Utak Adam Zakob.
Adam Tutak is the first seed. He tends to win a lot of his bouts by knockout. He has a 44% knockout rate. And he's had some good successes right through this year, which is why he finds himself in this position.
In the blue corner, representing Germany, Abdul Zafar Amar.
Amar Riyad Abdul Jabbar, Iraq-born 30-year-old, moved to Hamburg in 2010 and eventually began representing Germany after turning a citizen in 2018. Oodles of experience, somebody who's been around the block, has boxed with the best in the world and will bring that fighting spirit up against quite a fancied opponent.
Lalkavi Walid Shahab, Judge 1 Croatia, Judge 2 Uganda, Judge 3 Egypt, Judge 4 Canada, Judge 5 Chinese Taipei.
Interestingly, the in-ring referee also from Iraq. There shouldn't be too much lost in translation should the need arise to explain something. Of course, he's lived a long time in Germany, so I would imagine that Abdul Jabbar knows a few other languages too now.
Round 1.
Yet again, a contrast in styles. We've moved further up in terms of the weight categories. The slightly taller Yaqub. Abdul Jabbar, a pocket rocket in many respects. Will probably pack a punch. That's where Yaqub can actually use his height to very good effect in this 90 kg category. First quarterfinal. All 4 quarterfinals to be played back to back, so we'll also see the Indian boxer in action, Naveen Kumar. That will be the 3rd quarterfinal, and he'll be in action against Beksat Tangatar of Kazakhstan. Abdul Jabar looking to be as positive as we expected him to be. And so far he has landed a few decent punches, but just gets his first little warning from the referee. Now Tutak has to find a way to work around this early aggression from his opponent. Good punch landed. Standing count goes up to 7. Good start here by Tutak. Into the last 10 seconds. I would think that Tutak has just edged ahead in this bout as a result of that standing count. Some strong punches landed by the top seed. Abdul Jabar tried to be as positive as possible, but from time to time Adam Tutak with some good shots.
Second round. Round 2.
Tutak carrying on with that same positivity, with that same confidence from the first round. Abdul Jabar looking to be a lot more positive in the second round. What's been effective about Polish Tutak has been the fact that he has landed some decisive blows. It's not been offense all the way, but when he does get on the offensive, then he does make his punches count. That is such a good attribute, especially in this form of boxing. Mix it up with a solid defense and you have pretty much an impregnable game plan. Even in this round, what he's doing very cannily is just making sure that it's Abdul Jabar who's forced into some of those errors. Then he just gets defensive, gets onto the ropes and forces the official to come in and break it up. Landed a good left hook. Adam Tutak hasn't really stretched himself too much, but he has still done quite a bit in this bout to take himself out of arm's length of his opponent. Plenty of encouragement for both the boxers, but understandably Adam Tutak's bench is sounding a little bit more animated. Right by the side of the ring and just making themselves heard, their ward's ears. Bit better towards the end of that round from Abdul Jabar. But Adam Tutak has played this one very smartly. Kept himself going. Used the ropes, used breaks in play to just break up the momentum from his German opponent. As of now, it's absolutely split right down the middle. There's two judges or three judges who've given it 19 apiece to both of them. And two judges who have actually called both rounds in favor of one or the other. So it's 1-1. Everything to play for going into this third and final round.
Third and final round.
Been smart from Abdul Jabar. Moving in swiftly, getting some punches going, and then quickly gets out of the way. As effective as any strategy can be. Whole idea in sport, in any sport, I suppose, is to enforce some errors out of your opponent, and that's what Abdul Jabar has been able to do out of Adam Tutak. Couple of good combinations landed by the Polish boxer. Slugfest has also taken a little bit more out of Adam as compared to Abdul Jabar. Abdul Jabar looking fresher of the two boxers in the middle. Lots of perspiration as well on the Polish boxer's jersey. A little smarter in terms of some of his dressing there from German boxer. Upper exposes a lot more of his physique, especially the back of his shoulder or so. Landed a few good punches in this round as well. This too is going down the wire, it would seem. In fact, in all likelihood, Abdul Jabar with a slight advantage in this third round. He has the momentum on his side. Oh, a couple of good blows. Adam Tutak once again enforces a standing count. Could that be just about enough to clinch this in favor of the man from Poland? You would say the German boxer has had his moments more frequently. But Tutak has just landed some more decisive punches right through this contest. Into the last few seconds. Now, who's won this one? Both boxers appear quite jubilant. Adam Tutak probably got those good punches in towards the end of that third round. But Abdul Jabar was definitely quite positive all the way through. Tipping the ear on one of those punches, second time as well. Definitely good aggression shown by both boxers, especially as the match wore on. Clumsy to begin with, but both settling into a nice rhythm. The match wore on. All set pretty much for the verdict.
Split decision. In the red corner, representing Poland, Tutak Adam Zakop.
It is Adam Jakub Tutak from Poland who wins this. It's a split decision. It did get close, but the top seed goes through. No knockout this time, but he still performed admirably well, and one could see why he tends to get a lot of knockouts. He does punch hard. So winning that third round quite decisively, and that worked in his favor because it had been split right down the middle till that point. Overall, a sluggish start from both men, but Tutak, both in the first round as well as the third round, enforced a standing count, which probably went in his favor in terms of just making the judges lean his way. The decisiveness in those punches was fairly obvious. But it was a game fight from Abdul Jabar. Definitely gave a good account of himself, especially in that second round. But in the end, goes to the man from Poland. Now on to the next one. Nusratbek Tohirov of Uzbekistan, and up against him, Bogdan Tolmachov from Ukraine. So again, a former Soviet Union clash, as it were, but this is more of an Asia-Europe contest. Nusratbek is, of course, a former Asian junior champion, 22 years of age only. Up against him, the man from Kharkiv in Ukraine.
Bout number 19, a light man, 90 kg.
Winner of this bout will
In the red
await
corner,
Adam Tutak
representing
in the semis.
Uzbekistan, Nusratbek Okirov.
Yeah, massively built, isn't he? An impressive frame. The boxer from Uzbekistan, Tohirov. Bounds his way towards the red corner.
In the blue corner, representing Ukraine, Bogdan Olmakov.
And the Ukrainian, Tolmachov. Impassive as he heads down. Definitely going to be a cagey battle between the two.
Uganda, Antonio Stephen Sigafula. Judge 1, Iraq. Judge 2, Canada. Judge 3, Australia. Judge 4, Guatemala. Judge 5, France.
Should be an interesting battle, this. Asian junior champ in red in Tohirov. Against him, Tolmachov from Ukraine. Again, Tolmachov just the slightly taller of the two boxers. Not much else to choose in terms of physique. Bogdan just looks slightly stronger in certain senses. And with that height, no doubt he'll have a little bit of reach as an advantage, and that's what he's looking to capitalize on early in this first round. Nusratbek with an explosive combination of punches, nearly catching Bogdan off guard. First signs of aggression, otherwise it's pretty much expected to be the kind of cagey start that we have seen. Two men of similar build. Tolmachov doing a little bit of self-officiating, just telling the Ugandan referee that there was a punch to the back of his head. Next on this ring, Naveen Kumar from India will be taking on Begzat Tangatar of Kazakhstan. Then rounding off this afternoon session's action, Isaac Oko, silver medalist at Brazil in the World Cup Stage 1 from England, up against Jung of Korea. Time a little bit of a warning to Bogdan, possibly for a similar offense, just hitting the back of the head. Some great speed in his arm work from Nusrat Bek. Couple of occasions when he's really getting charged up and boxing his opponent into the corner. Good positive intent for most part. This is how this particular bout has gone. It's not been too fluent, and to be fair, Bogdan Tolmachov has topped the bout repeatedly to try and just impress upon the referee that there have been a few shots to the back of his head. There's been some good positive intent from Tohirov, the man from Uzbekistan. There's been a healthy exchange of punches, and that's reflected in the scoreline as well. Tohirov currently leading 4-1. Only the Canadian referee seeing it as a victory for Tolmachov. Otherwise, the other four judges going more in favor of the man in red. So Bogdan Tolmachov has to be a little bit more proactive in this round. Spent a lot of that first round just caught up in some of those technicalities, looking to impress upon the referee that there was some unfair play on his opponent's behalf. Out of frame, visible to the vantage point where I'm sitting in the commentary box. I can see the Kazakh wrestler, or the boxer rather, just warming up for the next bout with a little bit of skipping, as is the Indian opponent as well. So the two of them just getting ready to put on a show. But here it's Nusrat Bek who's once again dominating the tempo. Bogdan is trying to be a lot more positive in the second round. Will it be something that will convert into points? One punch too many which have been landed by Nusrat Bek. And from Kharkiv in Ukraine, in the blue corner, Bogdan. Chasing this bout, as it were, having lost that first round. 4 judges to 1. He has looked to be a lot more positive. Will that convert into points is a big question which needs to be answered, I suppose, by the judges themselves. But this has been good work by, smart work by Nusratbek Tohirov, showing why he's been such a highly rated boxer, especially at junior level. Into the last few seconds. Another round where Tohirov walks away quite confident. But it must be said, Bogdan Tolmachov also made a good comeback. He was a lot more positive, he was a lot more proactive. Took the fight to the opponent, but yeah, pushed into the ropes on a few occasions. Tohirov just gives up a little bit in terms of height, but uses those arms to great effect. Still a split verdict. In fact, the second round has been given 3-2 in terms of points, in terms of judges, to Bogdan Tolmachov. So it's 2-1 at the moment. Still hanging in the balance, this bout. Tohirov just slightly ahead. 2 judges at 19 apiece, 2 of them in favor of Tohirov with 2018, and 1 of them has 2018 going in favor of Tolmachov. All to play for in the last 3 minutes. Good busy start by both boxers. Nusratbek is trying to take the fight to the opposition. Bogdan also landing a couple of punches of his own. Good fury inside the ring at the moment from the two. A sense of purpose which a situation like this can create when both of them know that this match is still very much up for grabs. No point hanging back too much. Might as well go for the jugular. What's been noticeable is that Bogdan has got better results since he stopped looking to officiate the bout himself, trying far too many times to get his opponent in trouble rather than focusing on what he's doing. This time, pushed into the corner, pinned into the corner. Standing count against Bogdan. Goes all the way to 8, but that will count very well for Nusratbek Tohirov. He has the advantage, mind you. He has 2-1 at the moment in his favor, thanks to that outstanding first round that he had with 4-1 judges. For that uppercut was Bogdan, but quick to weave out of the way, Nusratbek. Into the last minute. Still anyone's bout to take. Tohirov probably just with his nose ahead, thanks to that standing count which he was able to obtain against his opponent. That means that Bogdan has to try and move in for the kill and effect a technical knockout of his own, if he can. The after effects of chasing each other around the ring also showing on both men. Now into the last 10 seconds. Tohirov probably thinks he's done enough
But Bogdan might still swing it with a couple of good punches right to finish off. Punch of gloves. Both men look confident, but it's probably gone the way of red. We'll have to wait for the confirmation from the judges. But on the whole, what an entertaining third round it was. Bogdan was the one who came out all guns blazing, but Tohirov did his cause absolutely no harm by sending a couple of fiery punches which forced the referee to intervene and also take a little standing count for the Ukrainian boxer.
In the red corner, representing Uzbekistan,
Tohirov gets it.
Tohirov.
It's a split decision. It's a lot closer than it seemed. But Nusratbek Tohirov, there's no doubting, was the smarter of the two boxers in the ring. So he sets up a semi-final clash against Adam Tutak from Poland. And he assures Uzbekistan of yet another medal at the World Boxing Cup Finals. An intriguing battle started with a little bit of mind game, especially from the Ukrainian Bogdan. But as the bout progressed, Tohirov just showing his pedigree, former Asian junior champion. Used his reach to good effect, defended well. That left of his is a potent weapon. And a couple of times had Bogdan completely rattled with the ferocity of those left punches. Definitely going to be a fascinating battle when he takes on Adam Tutak, who's probably physically imposing as compared to him, but just a little bit slower in terms of his overall movements. And now we move on to the Indian boxer in the fray. In the men's 90 kg category, Naveen Kumar will be up against Bekzat Tangatar of Kazakhstan. The man from Jabar in Haryana, not far from where we are in Greater Noida rather. And he'll be banking on what has been some lovely home support for all the Indian boxers in the fray thus far.
Bout number 20, a light man 90 kg. In the red corner, representing India, Naveen Kumar.
They're very well built. Naveen Kumar. Long levers as well, which should stand him in good stead. It'll enable him to mix caution and aggression very well, to keep his opponent at an arm's length, and also to counter-punch with vigor.
Representing Kazakhstan, Bekzat Tangatar.
But Bekzat as well will be somebody who will come out with a positive game plan. Perhaps just cedes a few inches to his opponent, but nonetheless will be somebody
Abdul Salama.
that will make things
Judge
quite
1,
difficult.
Bulgaria. Judge 2, Australia. Judge 3, Mongolia. Judge 4, Croatia. Judge 5, Morocco.
Thankless jobs as well for the officials, just keep rotating between themselves. Somebody assumes the role of the referee. Plays referee from Egypt. Then all the other officials as well getting into position. All four taking, or five of them, just taking spots all around the ring to be able to watch from every possible angle. Quite a fascinating thing to see. Right, here we go. This for a spot in the semi-finals of the men's 90 kg category. Naveen against Bekzat. Seconds in. Trying to be as positive as possible. The difference in approach evident already. Kazakhstan's Beksat slightly shorter, which is why he's looking to get as close as possible. Naveen using his reach to good effect. Keeps his guard down to try and invite the opponent onto him. Beksat, incidentally, who's got his guard up most of the time. The initial probing going on in these first minute and 20 seconds. Naveen's landed a few punches, but substantial. However, he's probably looking like the more proactive boxer at the moment. Beksat Tangatar will want to sort that out in the remainder, not just of this round, but also the rest of this bout. Low angle shot taken by a camera person, just giving him a great idea in terms of the relative speeds of the two. Kazakh wrestler is moving swiftly, no doubt, but Naveen also doing a great job of just keeping himself as mobile as possible. A moving target, always more difficult to hit. Naveen just seems to be softening up his opponent for a vicious left to come from somewhere. Usually keeps it in a defensive position, but won't be surprised if he moves in swiftly and puts in a good left hook every now and then. First round coming to a close, last 10 seconds. Probably been edged by Naveen. But Beksat has also shown his quality. A lot of tenacity. An even contest thus far. Naveen Kumar from India just doing enough, just landing slightly more decisive punches, and it's reflected in the score, which is very close, because out of the 5 judges, 3 of them have called it for Naveen, 2 of them have gone with Beksat Tangatar. So nothing in this as a contest. 2 contrasting styles, 2 contrasting philosophies at play. That's what makes it such an interesting contest. So Morocco and Croatia among the judges, going with the man from Kazakhstan.
Round 2.
Naveen possibly just acknowledging that he needs to be a bit more proactive. It was Beksat doing a lot of the early movements in that previous round. Naveen just looking to probe, get into punching positions early on in the second. Beksat looking to be a lot more cautious, staying away from that long reach of Naveen's in the second round. Has to mix it up with some positivity of his own as well. Doesn't want to get boxed too much into a defensive mindset. And look at Naveen just trying to entice him, keeping his guard down from time to time. That's a good combination of punches, couple of times, which have rattled Begzat. Another round where one would think Naveen has probably just edged it in terms of what he's done, but Begzat also refusing to go away. Really turning into what could be a fascinating third round battle. I would think that it might again be a split verdict. It might just go in Naveen's favor. You never know though. And it's the tiredness as well showing. The bigger the boxers, the more it tends to take out of them, these short 3-minute bursts. Begzat Tangatar showing a lot of spunk in this round, but it's been decisively taken by Naveen. Thanks to some pretty decent right hooks that he was able to essay. Also follow it up with his left. There's been much better defensive work from Naveen, keeping that left glove up for most of the time. He has conceded a few punches, but landed far more against his opponent from Kazakhstan. Quite decisive in the second round. All 5 judges going with Naveen Kumar. So 3-0 at the moment, thanks to a couple of judges whose numbers are split. Simply put, that means that this needs to be a massive reversal in this round.
Third and final round.
Simply getting it 10-9 for all 5 judges will not do for Begzat. He has to outbox decisively his opponent in the views of at least one judge, in addition to the other 4. Another standing count won't help Begzat's cause. Naveen, the man from Haryana, has been very smart with the use of his reach. Absolutely picture perfect in terms of how to decisively strategize that against a slightly shorter, slightly stockier opponent. Just keeping him in check, just keeping him away often enough, then moving in when the defenses are down. Also, he's quite swift for a 90 kg category male boxer, standing him in good stead. Just at the halfway mark of this third round, and Naveen continues to break away from his opponent. Keeps him at a good distance. Begzat also tiring visibly. Winner here goes through to the semi-finals of the men's 90 kg category and also assures their country of a medal. India continue to build seemingly on the good start that they made on day 1. With 4 of their boxers, particularly the women, doing exceptionally well. Still landing some good punches. High quality here from Naveen. It has brought in a lot of frustration from Begzat. And that's completely worked to the Indians' advantage. As the bell sounds, it's Naveen who pumps his fist, knowing that he may well have done the job. Started with a split verdict to begin with, but as the match progressed, just grew in confidence. And this third round was a summation of how good he was. Enforced a couple of standing counts against a tiring opponent, kept going, kept attacking, and at the same time kept his defense very solid right the way through. Naveen has really put in a professional performance here for India. And that should see yet another medal assured for the home nation.
The winner on point by unanimous decision in the red corner, representing India.
It is unanimous for Naveen Kumar. And he was so good all the way through. Right from the first round, dominant against a high-quality opponent in Begzat Tangatar, somebody who has been boxing at the highest level for a while for Kazakhstan now. But just never let him settle into any proper rhythm in this match. Great defense, good counters as well. And using all of that height to good effect. Naveen Kumar, the man from Haryana. Pretty much a 100% record for Indians today in the fray. In this afternoon session, we have seen Bwal, Sumit, and now Naveen Kumar going through. Fourth and final, quarterfinal coming up. It's Isaac Oko of England up against Jung of South Korea. Isaac Oko, of course, in this particular weight category, did win the silver medal behind Turabek Habib Bulaev of Uzbekistan in the Brazil stage of the World Cup. Don't want to
Bout number 21.
repeat that kind of a performance
Light
today.
man, 90 kg. In the red corner, representing England, Isaac Oko.
Walks in with a fair amount of confidence. Looks like he means business today. No doubt will be wanting to come up with yet another big performance here at the World Cup finals. But this is a tough match for him because he's up against the second seed,
Jung.
Jung Hanwell. Powerfully built, strong competitor. But he's also got a lot of lean ability about him. It's going to be a good bout. There's absolutely no doubt about it. It could be a close one. Isaac Oko with good form this year. But Jung Hanwell, without doubt, the one on paper should be favored a little bit.
Judge 1, Iraq. Judge 2, Mexico. Judge 3, Australia. Judge 4, Uganda. Judge 5, Croatia.
Yet another Asia versus Europe clash. Jung in blue for South Korea up against Isaac Oko from England in red. And an African official in the middle, Saeed Musafir from Morocco. Truly a global event, the World Boxing Cup Finals. Coming to you from the Shaheed Vijay Singh Pathak Sports Complex in Greater Noida, close to Delhi. Highly on the scorecard with Oko on his jersey. Just looking to be a little bit circumspect early on. English boxer keeping a slight distance, aware of the Koreans' ability to counterpunch. Of course, the last of the bouts in the afternoon session. This is done, we shall come back at 6 p.m. local time, just a little over an hour and a half. Another great set of matches in the evening. With quarterfinal action on day 2 of these World Boxing Cup Finals here in Greater Noida. Quick warning to both boxers actually for going to the back of the head far too often. Manuel is looking to get his opponent into a corner so that he can launch an assault, but as soon as he does that, Oko uses his speed to quickly get himself out of that corner. Bit of a cat and mouse game at the moment between the two. Not too many constructive moves made. More of an illustration of how close it is between these two opponents. Oko clearly enjoying himself, has a smile on his face every now and then. So much a game of mind as well as body. Not sure how the judges will see this. Probably has the makings of something like a split verdict to begin with. Isaac Oko has perfected the art of not doing enough but looking quite busy all the time in this first round. Cagey start, and you would expect that as the weight categories increase, as the quality between the boxers also comes closer and closer. The gap seems to shorten a bit. Been given 5-0 to Isaac Oko. Probably Jung just not able to land sufficient punches. Great speed, especially in terms of his footwork from Isaac, the way that he's kept moving out of punching range. Every now and then opened up significant gaps. So all 5 judges giving this particular round to Isaac Oko. Iraq, Mexico, Australia, Uganda, as well as Croatia. Some of those officials were officiating earlier as referees, now as judges. That's typically the way that it happens. There's also a massive technical bench which ratifies some of the decisions. It's a very subjective sport. It's something which is difficult to, in a sense, completely understand and distill, because it's very subjective down to each judge, which is why there are 5 of them. Prevents the occasions of a tie. They have to pull it one way or the other. They can't give it as a draw at any stage. To add to that odd number, there's also the odd number of rounds, 3 rounds. of 3 minutes apiece. We are into the second here. Anuel is trying to be as positive as he can. Wonder if this will be called an upset if Isaac Oko pulls this off. We already saw Pawan Bwal was so good against the second seed Nur Sultan Alinbeck. Pretty much overwhelming his much fancied opponent. So here Isaac Oko is really enjoying himself out in the ring. A persistent smile on his face. Enjoying the mind games with his Korean opponent. Problem for Hanuel has been that he's just not been able to create an offensive opening for himself right through this bout. Isaac has been very smart, very judicious with all his defensive maneuvers, a little bit of mind games as well. Managing this bout perfectly. Coming to the last 30 seconds, round 2. Coming to that stage where Hanuel will have to throw the kitchen sink, if not more, at his opponent. Already looking a little more scrambled in terms of what he needs to do. He's given a couple of good punches there. Quick standing count, but concluded inside the first 2. Could he come back? Could he have made a comeback in the second round? It will be very interesting to see. It certainly finished on a much more positive note for Jung Hanuel. Isaac Oko, as he was in the first round, a lot more cautious. Ducking and weaving out of the way. Using his defense to good effect. And every now and then also coming up with some punches. This has also gone actually decisively Isaac Oko's way. In fact, one of the judges, 2 of the judges in fact, giving it 8. So now a massive advantage for Isaac Oko, which he will probably not cede unless he gets knocked out. Both of the rounds going in favor of the English boxer.
Third and final round.
Anuel has to go on the offensive, and that will leave some defensive frailties which Isaac will want to exploit. The standing count? No, it's not. Just a little bit of a warning for Oko. But Hanuel has started this third round in a good positive spirit. He's looking to take the attack to his opponent. He's looking to chase him down. But this is the time to pretty much throw everything that he's got. By Isaac has the option here of just closing this bout out. Doesn't need to do anything fancy. Just defend solidly. Try and minimize the errors at your end. That could just force a few from the opponent. Last minute or so coming up. Moment of reckoning for Hanwell. Second seed. Looks like he's on his way out unless he can effect a rather dramatic reversal of fortunes in this bout. Isaac Oko has managed defense and attack so well and continues to do so. Oh, a couple of good punches here from Hanwell. Is that good enough though? He's lost 2 rounds in a row and a couple of them by quite decisive margins, by 10-8 margins. Just needs something quite massive to tilt the numbers in his favor. Time's running out for him though. Isaac continues to dance, continues to prance away. Just getting his way out of trouble, and it would seem like the English boxer has probably done enough to secure himself a place in the semis and a medal as well. Good bout nonetheless. Cat and mouse all the way through. Some decent punches landed, but Hanwell was a lot more positive in this. However, Isaac Oko's defense has been superior all through this bout, and that is probably something that has seen him through into the last 4 of the men's 90 kg category. Sharing a few smiles with his support staff as well. Been a particularly happy day for the Koreans today. Let's see if that trend continues.
Unanimous decision. In the red corner, representing England, Isaac Ko.
It is Isaac. It's a good performance from him. Overwhelming his opponent in the 3rd round as well, with yet another time, couple of judges giving it 10-8 in his favor. So 30-27, 30-27, 30-24, 30-26 and 30-26. Terrific performance from Isaac Oko as he sets up what will be a lip-smacking semi-final against Naveen Kumar of India, who was so good in his own bout in overwhelming Bekzat Tangatar of Kazakhstan. England's Isaac Oko wins the bout, which also concludes all the quarterfinals in the men's 90 kg category and also concludes this afternoon session. What's coming up? These are the matches, 5 of them. Women's 51 kg, that's what will get things moving, and then you'll have some Indians in action as well. Hitesh Gulia's bout against Sevon Retz Okazawa will be something worth looking forward to. These are the matches coming up in the evening session, with the bouts beginning at 6 p.m. So we'll take a short break for now, and once we are back at 6 p.m, we'll hope that you join us for that evening session of some more exciting bouts from the World Boxing Cup Finals.